Welcome back to Dr. Halloween Haunts. We have the first at-home tour this year and the first store tour of this year. I've already looked at it all, so this is not going to be my first reaction to everything because I've already looked at it, but I am just going to be going through it all. And there's some stuff I haven't seen over there. Yeah, first thing I am going to say is, if you've been watching the channel recently, I'm doing a Victorian Gothic mansion and cemetery haunt this year. So I'm very glad with a lot of the stuff they have back there. Last thing I'm going to say is, tonight and this morning, I will finish the Spirit Sneak Peek videos so that we can start the haunt building season and the store tour season. Store tours are always some of the most successful videos on the channel. I'm going to look at this stuff a little bit later. I do like that ghost dog. It's kind of cool. And I like this thing and this stuff, but it just doesn't really go with my purposes of haunting. But I do enjoy classic Halloween stuff. This right here, if you watch the channel, I don't like skulls on tombstones because it's not realistic. You wouldn't see it in a real cemetery. So, yeah. Over here, I do kind of like this that they're doing. It's a new theme that they're adding, like the kind of Western stuff. They don't have a lot of stuff for it, but I do like it. This house, pretty simple. Not kidding, I would get it. Pretty cool. Like I said, we'll move to some inflatables and some stuff like that later. Now we're moving over to here. Alright, so this right here is something I definitely want for the haunt. This guy fits perfectly theme-wise. I like his lantern and everything. He is like $250, but yeah. Yes, I want to know your opinion on this. Let me know in the comments if you think I should get this, because I've split here. Because on one hand, this prop, it's $150. On one hand, it's like it goes with the design, the color scheme, it fits with the other stuff. But then it's like Cerberus, so like time period and just character. It doesn't really, I don't know that it works. So just let me know in the comments what you think about that. Some dragons here. Cool and on theme, but like just a little bit expensive for what it is. I might want to get this. I don't know, it is pretty expensive though, but anyway, I have a smaller version of it anyway, so I don't think I would get it, but I just remembered that I have the smaller version of it. This right here, pretty cool, but you can get a cheaper crow at Spirit, like a little latex one. This right here, and like this, I don't mind the skull in this instance, because on the tombstone it doesn't work because they don't carve tombstones. Like, they don't carve skulls on real tombstones. If it's just a skull, I would probably use this in the library area, like on a bookshelf. That's kind of cool. Well, don't really think I would get it though. Moving over to here, some interesting props. Another dragon character. A few of that one, and then we go over this way. This thing is really cool. I just don't know. I just don't know if it looks realistic. Because on one hand, it could be haunted and being changed how it looks, but then I don't know how to think about that one. Because on one hand, I want all the busts to look like normal busts you would just see in a mansion. Because the house is haunted, the old busts in the house aren't going to change. They're going to stay the same. They're just going to look like normal old busts. On one hand, the ghost could be on it, and that's why it looks like that. I don't know. That's kind of a weird concept, but let me know if you think this is not grounded enough, or if you actually think it does work just because it looks so cool. Some of these, I as much as these things don't go with a haunt at all, I still love this. I still love classic Halloween stuff. This is really cool, but $150, I just don't know about that. And this, but for this, just for $50, I might look at that. What we need to talk about is my favorite thing here, though, and that's this. Look at that. I'm not exaggerating. Top 5, maybe the best static prop sold by the retail. So not counting professional props, because obviously like distortions or something like that would beat it. They're talking about Spirit, Home Depot, stuff like that. Possibly best static prop in the last 5 years. I don't know if that's a stretch, but Spirit doesn't really do those good static zombies anymore. So is this the best static prop at any store in the last 5 years? Either way, I need that for the haunt, and I'm planning on getting it. Let's go over this way. All right. I actually have this tombstone, so that's gonna go in the haunt. I actually, when I saw this, I thought that looked so cool. I'm like, it's not scary enough to go in the haunt, but it's on theme. What if we put that, you know, at the line, and have those as like the line greeter props? But then I realized they're not even connected to it, so I don't think I would get that. I do like this guy, and again, the skull works in this instance because it's not carved into a tombstone. This one's better, and I think the price is worth it, even though it's $100 more than that one. It all depends on a lot of other stuff, like how expensive the walls and facade and the haunt itself is going to be to build, because then maybe I won't actually get that one. Maybe I'll get that one. I don't know. Looking over here, this is pretty cool. So we've gone through all the mansion. We've gone through all the main stuff that I would want for my haunt. So now we're going to look at two other things. We're going to look at like the classic Halloween stuff that doesn't go in a haunt, but is still Halloween. And then we're going to look at stuff that's not Halloween at all, but is like statues and like old-timey looking stuff that I would want for the haunt. So I guess we're going to look at just Halloween stuff first. Let's take a look at this stuff. This is bringing me back to 2024, back when the channel was focused on building the Halloween party rather than a haunt, if anyone watched that year. Wow, this is really taking me back. All right, especially these pumpkins. You know, as back in 2022, I was really haunt focused. Back in 2023, I wasn't even really into haunting that much at all, so I didn't really put many videos out. 2022, 2025, 2026, with how haunt oriented I am, it's weird to look back on 2023 and 2024. Both of them, like 2023 not into it at all, and 2024 into the party. Kind of weird. I do like this cat, and I think cats work for the haunt I'm doing, but you can get like a smaller latex cat at Spirit for cheaper. You don't need all the extra detail on just a cat prop. Pumpkins, if I was doing a farm thing this year, I would get some of these pumpkins, because even if they're not scary, they're decent background props. That Medusa thing really is pretty cool. Looking over this way, I'm gonna keep going through the aisles, and then we can check out the inflatables. This stuff, At Home has been selling this stuff for years. I do really like this kind of stuff. Looking over here, a lot of props to see in this area. Let's look, there's this, pumpkins, and then we have some more stuff over here. We have, again, another kind of Western thing right there, pretty cool. Looking over here, there's some Lemax stuff over there, we can check that out. Not much to see over here. I always do enjoy At Home Halloween though. They're always like the first one to get the Halloween in. This head looks pretty good. They've had this for years. Every year I'm like, I'm gonna get this like next year, and I don't, but I always enjoy seeing it. And you know one thing, this haunt is not really meant to be bloody. I've used like blood and gore as a major thing in the past few haunts because it's what I use to make things creepy a lot. It's gonna be weird not to use it, but I'm gonna try to use a good amount of jump scares in this haunt and a good amount of just subtly creepy things. Because I mean, really, the blood doesn't work for the Victorian mansion theme. It's gonna be kind of hard without it, but next year I could definitely use that head. No spoilers yet, unless actually I'm spoiling it in the Spirit sneak peeks. I'll try not to. I think I already looked at some of this stuff. Yeah, it's pretty unique. They have like an armadillo back there with the skeleton characters. They have like a skeleton armadillo. It's kind of cool. Let's go this way. We've already been right here. I'm gonna go here. This is where the Lemax stuff is. I'm not that into Lemax anymore. I used to love it, and I kind of want to get back into it because I kind of want to collect some of the old Lemax buildings. But I don't know. I don't know if they're doing both At Home and Michaels exclusives now. I'm pretty sure the ones sold at Home, or it might just be the ones that aren't the Michaels exclusives. Or if Michaels exclusives now also apply to At Home, like if they're At Home and Michaels exclusives, or if they just sell, or if Michaels exclusives, are they even Michaels exclusives anymore? Do they sell the main line and the Michaels exclusive line here? Because I was thinking they probably just sell the main line here, but this could have its own exclusives, or they could sell, I don't know. Inflatables. Not the inflatable guy, but this one is really cool, actually. I wouldn't get inflatables. They're just not for me. But I do like some of these. Like, I do like the guy on the horse back there. I always enjoy seeing this tree inflatable. I see it, like, I've seen it for so many years at so many different stores. I've seen it at, like, Walmart, too. I've always liked that, but not something for me. All right, let's go this way, because even if this stuff isn't haunt related, I saw something I could use in a future haunt when I was just peeking over here. I tried to avoid looking at it, and I looked at it. I didn't go back there. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. That skeleton lamp is actually cool. This guy right here reminds me of the Embers prop. It's a lot smaller. It's, in my opinion, better. You don't need the Embers. This is kind of like Embers. This is actually, I think this is better than Embers. I really do. You really don't need a massive groundbreaker. Sorry, Embers, but yeah, it's better. Wheelbarrow, kind of cool, I guess. I like this okay, but I kind of wish it was just an angel. I don't know why it's a skeleton. What else there? Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Whoa, this thing got an upgrade. Whoa, oh my gosh. I got this thing last year because I was like, that thing is so cool. And when it had the moss on it, if you know what I'm talking about, they had this last year, but it didn't have all the dirt. It was white and it had moss on it. This is better, but I'm not buying it again because it's probably the same price. The one I have is fine. I actually love this man-eating plant. I love man-eating plants. They're so underrated. I would probably get this next year because I can use man-eating plants next year. I can. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get that for next year. I probably want to actually get it this year, not next year. But I wouldn't use it this year at the haunt. At least I just put it at my house because I am planning on moving the haunt away from the house this year. Looking over here, it's just classic Halloween. It's alright. Alright. I found 2 things I want, not for this year. That and that. Alright, let's end the video with stuff that is not Halloween, but stuff that I can use for Halloween. Which is some of my favorite stuff. I like going to antique stores for this kind of stuff, not this kind of store, but let's look at just any stuff that looks like it could be in an old mansion. So we're looking for statues, we're looking for any props that kind of go theme-wise, and then we will end the video. Not a lot to see right in this section. I probably shouldn't be in this section because this section will not have anything. These aisles over here might have like some busts or something. Yeah, no, not those. Not down there either. Not down here. Alright, I saw one thing earlier. I don't know how I feel about it though. Let me go. Oh, I just saw another thing. Is this the one? Because what do you think? Like, I know it's not scary, but it looks like it could be in an old mansion. I kind of want that, actually. Oh, wait, this one's smaller. This one's actually better. Ooh, only 24. Yeah, I think I might be picking that up for the bookshelf in the mansion. All right, last thing I'm gonna do. That count lamp is actually really cool. There's that one thing. Last thing I'm gonna do is go back here to look at one thing. Or actually, like maybe a few things, but it's just like one aisle. That might go in the haunt. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Looking over here. That owl's actually really cool. I don't know if that could go in the haunt or not. It might could go in this, like the cemetery. These angels are cool, but the one that's actually like a Halloween prop is superior. Okay, I want like 2 lions by the side of the mansion door. These are pretty expensive. I don't know that I get them here, but we could use it for inspiration if we see similar lion guarded statues at another store, or maybe get those. I don't know. Those are pretty good. There's a little bit of Halloween here, a little bit of pumpkins. That's cool, a bit small for the haunt though. Actually, it's a wind chime, it wouldn't work. It'd be a little bit obvious it's a wind chime. And there we go. So that is everything. So I'm gonna end it on one of the coolest things I've ever seen at home. It's not Halloween and it doesn't work at this haunt at all, but this tiger is just so cool, so it's gonna be the end of the video. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. So like, subscribe, and have a great day.